Grab some snacks and settle in for the best story-driven games on PC.
Back so soon.
We love games for many reasons. They offer incredible worlds for us to roam. They get us thinking, get us problem solving. But more than anything, we love them for the stories. Games can weave a narrative in a way no other medium can. You get to be part of the story, deciding what happens next, making tough choices, and living out the consequences of it all. There have been some incredible games over the past couple of years that have taken us on journeys we never wanted to end. So let's all sit around the virtual campfire and share our favourite tales. While we're doling out the marshmallows though, make sure to subscribe to Logitech G for more videos just like this. Okay, are you sitting comfortably? Then let's begin.
Hey, you were right. These are great.
Some of the stories on this list take place across years, across galaxies, but the Magnificent Trufflepigs only needs a couple of acres of English countryside to keep you engrossed. To start with, it is incredibly beautiful. You wander the verdant hills, wildflowers swaying in the wind, hot air balloons floating overhead. You instantly feel at peace. But there's always something lurking just below the surface that keeps you on your toes. Metal detecting pro Beth and protagonist Adam have history. That much is clear, and you maneuver their tricky relationship as carefully as you dig up the lost treasures from the soil. Little by little, uncovering something hidden beneath. With the same lead designers as Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, you know you're in for a meditative narrative treat.
Nice find. Sadly, they're only valuable if they're pristine.
Not all stories have happy endings, or even happy beginnings, or middles, or well, anything. But that doesn't mean they're not engaging or even enjoyable. Resident Evil games aren't your standard shove as many scares in as possible horror. They've got some serious narrative to them. Village is gothic. It wouldn't look out of place on a shelf next to Shelley or Stoker, and has enough twisting terror to make it worthy of being there. You'll explore castles with ornate corridors but no windows, meet overwhelming vampire aristocrats, and run from packs of lycans, all while trying to discover where your kidnapped daughter is, and who the mysterious Mother Miranda is at the heart of it all. Let's be real, if any of that was on the back of a book, you'd definitely be picking it up, especially if she was on the cover.
I won't let you down.
If you're used to playing tabletop RPGs, you'd be forgiven for thinking that they're the peak of branching narratives. But somehow, Disco Elysium has put together a world, characters, and best of all story to rival your weekly games. A detective RPG, you stumble into solving the mystery of a body hanging in the backyard of a hotel, while also solving the alcohol-induced amnesia of who you really are. How you handle the case in your character is up to you and a set of stats. Choose to be intelligent, and piecing together your past is going to be easier. Choose to be sensitive and you'll be better with people. We know this is a story list, but we don't want to give too much away. That's for you to discover. If you like the idea of stepping inside a detailed and harsh painting to discover what's on the other side, Disco Elysium is the closest you can get.
I'm glad to see you here.
The best way to describe Kentucky Route Zero's story is otherworldly. It's set up to feel all at once as if you're merely an observer, watching it all from a stage where the people move about a static world. While at the same time as if you're deeply ingrained in every moment, every decision, like you're really living each chapter. Magical realism weaves through the game like the highway across the map, and you fall in love with this world by looking, but also by reading. You sneakily browse on computers to discover more about NPCs, or change the meaning of a song through your choices. Kentucky Route Zero is a story that was always going to happen. You're just lucky enough to be along for the ride. Life is Strange helped cement the idea of games as modes for incredible storytelling, so it makes sense that the developer's latest release, Tell Me Why, is just as gripping. Set in rural Alaska, you play as twins Tyler and Allison who revisit their childhood home and start to discover the power to relive certain memories. Only problem is that they remember many major events differently. It's up to you to pick who to believe and watch this twisting drama unfold. It's about family, it's about memory, and eventually, it's about moving on. Everything from the puzzles to each item you pick up is part of the story. Tell Me Why is like a trip to your local cinema for an absorbing narrative, but you're directing what the characters do. So settle in with some popcorn, it's going to be good.
Whoa.
Mass Effect is story and then some. Not only are there 3 main games, but a ton of DLCs too, which are now all collected in the newly released Legendary Edition. Mass Effect has such a detailed world and history. There's centuries of lore before the first game even starts. Plus, if you want some action to keep you interested between all the dialogue, you'll be blasting aliens across the stars. If you've also felt everything else on this list was lacking a little romance, you're right, but no more. You can swoon over a plethora of alien love interests in Mass Effect. Really, there's something for every taste, and even some tastes you didn't know you had. Basically, Mass Effect has everything you could ever want, all intertwined with an epic sci-fi tale that puts the fate of the universe on your well-defined shoulders. Valve created such a compelling story with the Half-Life games that they became the most desired sequels in the industry. So when Alyx came along, we knew it'd be something special. We play as teenage Alyx Vance in City 17 10 years before Half-Life 2, so it's a chance to experience everything that went down before we meet Gordon again. We included Half-Life in our Greatest Sci-Fi Universes video, and Alyx is absolutely a reason for it being there.
Agreed.
We often see aliens in epic space stories or planetary battles, so it's interesting to face an everyday Earth dealing with an invasion. Plus, how often do you get to truly live a story? As Alyx in VR, you're handling every item, physically looking around. You are the protagonist. Go explore your narrative. Oh, but maybe not enough. Damn it. You're not a hero, you're merely a raccoon detective down on his luck who takes a case that puts him in the middle of trouble with the city hierarchies. Because in this dystopian Vancouver, species determine status, and trash pandas are at the bottom. It's a reimagined point and click with a world that feels totally lived in, and it looks beautiful. You'll get to explore every inch too, climbing over buildings to break into bars, hiding on roads to avoid NPCs, and sneaking through various rooms in each building. Yeah, there's a lot of sneaking. Howard's thigh muscles must be made of steel by now. What takes most of your time though is the dialogue. NPCs are complex and react believably to everything you say. This is where you'll gather most of the story and hopefully solve the case. First step, getting out of the bath. What would your life look like if you could view it all on your deathbed? If before you depart to the afterlife, you can see key memories flash before your eyes? Well, in Before Your Eyes, you view Benjamin's life before he passes on. The catch is all linked to when you blink. You can only linger for so long on each moment before you have to blink and are thrown forward in time. Maybe by a few seconds, or maybe by years. Like real memories, you can only get a snippet of time, of a moment, of a person. This is how you explore Benjamin's life and discover his story. The happy times, the sad times, all of it, because this is a story of someone's life, a magical, mundane experience. Blink and you'll miss it.
I know how to spin a yarn, if I'm given something to work with.
Quantic Dream have been pushing the possibilities of interactive storytelling for years, and Detroit Become Human is the shining, futuristic example of all that work paying off. This is high-stakes, action-packed, deeply emotional storytelling. You're thrown into a future where androids and AI are so normal and so real that they're part of everyday life. You follow 3 such creations as they maneuver being a machine with very human inclinations. Then every decision you make for those androids totally changes what story you play out. There are 85 endings to experience in total, some with overlap, but others totally different. On a second playthrough, you'll start to make choices for the pure thrill of what might happen next. How many stories allow you to do that? So those are the best story-driven games 2021. Which narrative will you be getting lost in? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed, give this video a like and subscribe to Logitech G. If you do already subscribe, make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. Okay, time to get lost in a story. We'll catch you in the next one.